back to the shop. Finally, I know you guys that are on the Ram side of things probably getting sick of seeing me put up stuff with the Tesla, but I'm gonna go over the 1 year ownership of this Warlock. I'm very happy with this truck. The only department it's lacking in to me because of a previous TRX owner is obviously the power. So anyone that doesn't know, the 23 5th gen Warlock, which does exist, a lot of people don't even know the thing exists, but it does. That package comes with a rear locker, the same springs and shocks as the Rebel, and it also comes with the 8.4 screen. There's no GPS, but it works right with your phone, so it's like seamless. As soon as you start the truck, it hooks up to your phone and it runs off the Google Maps, so that's not an issue. But other than that, it's got the front bench seat, not buckets. There's just the dial shifter, not the floor shifter like I think it's the GT model. I'm not sure if the Rebel one has it or not, but I think it does. But I actually like the room you get with the compartments up front with the bench seat. And they're also cloth, which I put some rough country seat covers on it just so I don't get them messed up, but I prefer the cloth anyway because every leather seat I've ever had just wears out. Right, to start things out in the back, I do have the step that I got from Amp along. Those are TRX tips that I modified from my other truck that I had the tips removed when I had other tips installed. I made these so that they fit the stock pipes, and it's just a muffler delete with the resonator still in place. So it's not obnoxious, but it still gives you a decent effect. With the Warlock package, everything's blacked out. I had some red letterings, and this American trucks, I got this rear little lip spoiler. It was on the TRX. I removed it to put on this truck. These are LED taillights I replaced that have a black like tint to them. These are from Recon. It does come with a backup camera, and I do have the bed mat, or the bed rug, which I love this thing. It just makes hauling stuff. I mean, I don't really haul nasty, dirty stuff, which this is supposed to be able to be fine with, but I just prefer this for like if you're moving stuff for your house or whatever. It's just like a giant trunk, like from a car, so you don't damage anything. This is the X4 rolling. This I got because when you roll it up, it fits between the handles there and the bar, and you don't have a problem. I also installed the factory bed lighting. I have videos on all of this to install these bed rails. That definitely helps when you're tying different kinds of things down, but this thing is held up just fine. We got it in there about a year now. These are 18 by 9 wheels with just a slight offset just to make the wheels flush with the SF1 rough country fender flares. Installed the ram bar off of the TRX. It's a direct bolt on, no problem. Along with the highly recommended light mounts from Mopar. They grip a whole lot better than the ones I had universals on. I added a 33-gallon gas tank. And like I said, here's the inside. Like I said, it's pretty basic, but I don't really, I prefer this. And actually, the truck still smells brand new inside. And up front, this is what I was talking about with the bench seat. You got your storage in here. And then there's another seat, and there's another storage bin underneath this. Which, you know, you forget this is even here because I forget that I actually have stuff in it. Also in here, I have this that you can plug in to your USB. It's the AI Lite for able to watch like your DVR from home or HBO or whatever on this screen. You do not need the large screen for that. Also from Oracle, I added these red lights that go there. I have videos on this. The truck doesn't come with anything for the lights, but all the brackets and the spots you need to mount everything is there. So you could just install this kit by adding, you need the lights, the glass or the fiber tube that goes in there, but the mounts are there. You can easily install that. And with Alpha OBD, I have been able to install the performance pages and off-road pages. So like the Rebel. So you have your pitch. That'll come on when you start it. Everything works. I can show you that. See it shows the wheels turning, the degree. Then it tells you if the locker is engaged. And there's your roll and pitch. You also have the performance pages with the same thing, just like the TRX, and this all does work as it's supposed to. I don't know if any of the I think I have to make a run or something to put it in there, but because I probably deleted it. But you can also turn this on this dash. I also added the factory brake controller, and all of this can be turned on with Alpha OBD. I cannot find at this time the aux switches where you can add the factory, so I had to add this here. If I can ever come across this, I might switch over to it just so I can take this off. This isn't a big deal, but I think I'd rather have this one here. This is an added Wolfbox front camera that I added, and it's pretty nice. It's always recording. There's a card you can pull out of it. You could actually put it into a USB drive that has the same drive as your port as your phone, and you can actually just straight up watch the videos from the SD card right onto your phone, no problems. And this I got just so I can see, like, if you're pulling up on something, you know, on a trail or something, you don't run over it, and you can swipe over, and that's from inside here pointing out, and then you can swipe again and have both. Well, I also changed out these to the red faces on there. That was also from American Trucks. It was a little hard because they had a problem with the part number, but I finally got the right one. They kept sending me one for a diesel. This also comes with the larger screen, just like the TRX. So the only difference between this and the TRX is it doesn't say TRX on the top. So I know I said that it had a 1-inch lift, so I got the Rough Country 2-inch front lift quick struts that come with the spring and everything. So because I added a winch, I didn't really plan on doing that, but because of the winch, I wanted it a little bit stiffer, and she sits pretty level. It's just slightly higher in the back. And I also have the Timbren extra there. They sit in the cups where the stock bump stops sit, and they help aid with heavy loads. And I will tell you that with my car hauler on the back of this truck without the weight distribution hitch, I was pretty impressed night and day. The truck didn't even sag, and I drove it about 10 miles because I just had to move it, and I didn't feel like hooking up that hitch. It pulled just fine as far as like sagging or even sway. I mean, so I can't wait to do it with that hooked up. Front and rear axles, I put the 392 gear sets in the front. I bought the whole diff, like one piece, and just bolted the diff in. In the back, I actually did the gear swap itself. I will say for towing, it's night and day. I know people talk about the truck having similar gear ratios after the first couple of gears, which might be true, but you're still putting more load on your engine and transmission with the 321 over a 392. So it's just better to have the 392, whether you think the truck can handle it or not. It's just better on the transmission for sure, because you have more leverage with that gear set. And also with the taser, I was able to correct. The speedometer does not run off the gears, it runs off the tires. So it doesn't matter what gear you put in, that doesn't change. But I did put in the BCM that it does have the 392s. I think from SD, whatever they call it, somebody made an actual Warlock. Or actually they make this and I think you could just tell them what you want. I can't remember what it is, but it was nice to, instead of, this said Laramie, because this came with a regular tray that didn't have any door on it, and I really didn't like that. So you can also swap. You need this trim piece. It's slightly larger to fill in a gap. You can leave the old trim piece, but then you'll have like a 1/4 inch gap under the door. But this was a 30-40 minute install, and it just makes it look so much better than just a flat ledge sitting there. Find a place that had all LED interior lights. It's just a much better light tone and brightness. So behind the grill here, there is a Badlands 12,000 pound winch. This is with a Swarf's Works hidden winch. It's not hooked to the bumper. There's a whole huge frame connected to the frame of this truck. So there's videos on that too. A lot of people think I just hooked it up to the steel bumper. It's not in any way connected to this bumper. Even this here is connected to the winch itself. It is not like bolted to this bumper. In the videos you can see that. Oh, and also from requests and comments, I did, and I thought so too, put the Ram grill back on from the one that I had on there before. The air dam, active air dam, still is functional. Fog lights, I switched to some LEDs, and I was gonna install the factory LEDs. I have everything for it. I have this bezel, the mount, and everything to put the LED in there, but these match the headlights so well, I'm just leaving them until these like burn out, then maybe I'll switch it then. Swapped out to factory LED headlights, and Alpha OBD2 also assists in converting everything you need in the BCM to make these work correctly. So if you have a taser, all your light shows and stuff will work. I was able to find a decal that mimics the Rebel hood decal. Obviously does not say Rebel. And I got the sport hood. This came with the factory standard hood. These don't do anything. They're just for looks, but you know, I like my TRX hood so much. This is very similar to that, and other than not having the hole in the front, but I just like this hood the sport hood way better than the standard. And as far as this hood goes, I was able to find the right sticker for this. I had somebody paint this hood, and they're 100% perfect on the match. Also, this hood insulation from the factory hood fits. Like all this is on another video too. This is the on-off for the winch, so it does not have power going to it unless I'm going to use it. This is the factory Ram air intake. I don't really notice any improvement in power-wise or economy, but I like the way it looks. Maybe it does something, I'm not sure, but I don't think it does. And also I added block heater. It's like $130 for the cord and the heating element. I haven't really needed it, but just nice to have it just in case. I also added the factory tow mirrors, which also again an Alpha OBD. I was able to turn everything I needed on, so these lights work, turn the signals, and they work as running lights at night. And when you flip the light up, the controls inside stay the same. So like up, down, right, left is the same on that controller when you flip these up. So it doesn't like switch. Some aftermarket ones, when you flip them up, you have to like in your head turn the way that the controller is, because it doesn't change the motions automatically. I was also able to add factory remote start. If your truck does not come with the tailgate drop with the key remote, you can buy a key remote that has it, and as long as that key remote is set with your truck, it will work. if you have the electric back, which this does. So infotainment.com is where I got the remote start kit. So it's a factory Mopar kit. And they give you 2 remotes, and I said, can you get me ones with the remotes? They said it's not available, which that's not really true, because I was able to go on eBay and get the one with the tailgate release. And so when I went in, the dealership has to do this. They program your key fobs. So I have 2 of the originals, and I have 2 that infotainment.com sends you that have the remote start button, and then I have another one that has the remote start button and the tailgate drop. So I have 5 remotes now for this truck. But you know, it doesn't hurt to have extra ones just in case. Like, you know, I don't always need to open. If I have to open the back, I can just press the button on it itself. But it's nice when you come from a store to pop it down while you're walking to it. The thing I forgot that I didn't like when I got it too was it did not come with this visor with the garage door buttons. And infotainment.com also sells that too. So I was able to just install this. It plugs in with the stuff up here in the headliner, and I now have 3, just like factory, 3 buttons to open and close garage doors. Someone might say, why wouldn't you just buy a truck that has all the stuff on it? Well, I priced out a 23, 24 Warlock with everything that this has on it, and it comes out to like $67,000. And this truck was $48,000 plus let's say average like $9,000 worth of stuff to make this equal to that. So we're well under the 70. And I mean, this truck isn't much different than a Ram Rebel. And if you were to price out a Rebel, it's probably going to be more than that. I didn't do that, but I would imagine it's more than a Warlock with upgrades. And there's some stuff on here that you can't do factory-wise, like the wheels or exhaust. You just can't order it that way. What do I think of the truck? It does everything I need it to do. You know, it tows just fine now that the gears are changed. It's so much better. The only thing it's lacking over my TRX is, you know, quarter mile, 0 to 60, something like that. You know, the power. I mean, not that these are really, I would say that they're not slow. It's just not the same. But when you drive it, though, if you're not, you know, getting in it, to me, it feels almost exactly the same as the other truck. You know, maybe a little stiffer because the TRX I could put on like Baja mode and it would be all plush and stuff going down the road. And this one's like just, I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just a little firm, but it's not too firm. But it's just, that's what it is all the time. You can't change it. So I would say, to me, driving it, the feel-wise, that's the only difference. Gas mileage is not that much better. I mean, than a TRX. The TRX, say average, let's see, the number I always saw, 12.5. This one, 14, maybe mixed driving on the highway, maybe 17 or 18 if you're lucky. I haven't just done all highway, so it's kind of hard to say because it's always some kind of mixed driving. But I suppose if you wanted to, you could, if you drove it, 60 miles an hour, but I don't usually do that. What thing do I like that I change the most? All of it together, because I just like things to be exactly how I want it. I don't like anything missing. So how I set it up is how I like it. I don't think I'd want to get rid of anything that I've done to it. Reliability so far, not one issue with it. There's a couple recalls I got to bring it in for. They got some safety recalls, something with an airbag, and I don't know what the other thing is. It's nothing major, but I had to get another MX OED so I can copy all of my changes down, because I did so many changes in the BCM. I wanted to save all of my changes so that, because when I bring it in, I know they're going to do something with it, and it's going to erase all this stuff, and I'm going to have to turn it all back on as soon as I get it. So is there a TRX in the future? There might be. I'm not really sure. If there is, that truck's going to be going all out. I probably won't go with an off-road version. I mean, what I mean is I might see if I can drop it an inch or two and go down to like 33s and run it that way. Because I don't really do the Baja stuff and or whatever you want to call it with the off-road. I don't really do that anyway. So you would essentially be wanting this truck to have a Hellcat all-wheel drive pickup. So I would probably be headed more towards that, and there'll be more coverage on modifications power-wise for that. So there's that. Also, the other thing is, if I did do it, there's a lot of stuff on this truck it can just take off, and it can go on that truck. So we'll see where that goes. But if somebody comes up with tuning on these 23 and up Rams, I would be all in for doing a Pro Charger, because that just seems to be a lot cheaper to do, and I would get probably the results I want out of it. You know, if it could run what a TRX does stock, that would be more than enough. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, that's the other thing. Get a Pro Charger, I can do content on that with this truck, and you know, that's the whole reason I also bought a truck that doesn't have everything on it, so that I can make videos for somebody that wants to do it. So if there's just one thing out of the many that I've done to it, that's enough. So that part doesn't bother me either, that I bought the lower truck and did the work. That's the whole point. So I don't know, there's that. But they didn't offer a truck with everything I wanted on it all together anyway, so I had to weigh my options, because the other truck had like street type tires on it, and it just, I'd rather have the off-road version. Even though I just said I don't do a lot, but I do some off-road. I just don't do crazy off-road stuff. So with all that being said, my final review on this truck after a year, I love this truck. It does everything I ask of it, and it looks good. A lot of people actually like this truck, I've been told, more than the TRX. And that's just people, not people online. That's just people that I actually see, or friends of mine or whatever. So hopefully there'll be more to come. I think I would rather do a Pro Charger on this truck. So hopefully that comes up. So please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.